Hey guys, bringing you a video here on our Barley Fodder system. We've been working out some of the kinks here for the last few weeks and kind of getting everything going. And as you can see, we've got a few days growth behind us. We've increased our production. You know, we started with the blue barrels here behind us, where we had about 6 days of production, you know, 1 day in each bucket. And what we've got behind us is about 8 days. So I'm using the buckets. Go ahead and make use of them. What I'm doing is I'm soaking the seeds and rinsing them through the first 3 days in the buckets before they actually start sprouting the green. And then once the roots are good and sprouted, we move them over to the trays and they get an additional 5 days there. So they got about 8 days total. Putting about 18 ounces of seed in every night into every tray. And so that's actually turning into about 6 to 7 pounds of feed that's grown out at the end of 8 days. As you can see behind me, you know, we've got the shelf system there. Talked about that a little bit in the other videos, but I've got the PVC pipe on each shelf basically to lift up each end of the tray so we can pour water in each tray. It'll drain down and then so forth into the next tray and all the way down into the drain pan below. One of the things that we had that I've noticed is the fact that the end with the drain holes didn't seem to grow as much as the upper end did. I had a lot of root mass towards the top end of each pan, but where the water was draining, it was kind of pulling up a little bit. And so went in and added some extra drain holes. I've got 8 holes in each of those 10 by 20 trays. I've got a mild bleach solution that I've mixed up in these little spray bottles. You know, we'll probably put just about maybe a 1/4 inch of bleach down in the bottom and filled it the rest of the way with water. It's not a very strong bleach solution, but what we found is the trays, the buckets, and the drain pan all get a little bit yucky after a few days. And so I want to reduce the amount of mold and mildew and things like that may cause interference with your growth. And with the drain pan especially, you're going to find that it's actually going to culture bacteria quite well. You're going to want to actually drain it daily at least, and go ahead and spray it down with the bleach solution in order to keep it from getting that nasty muckiness that'll occur. So I do have the 6 buckets here, 2 for every day. I've got the newest seeds on top, so these were soaked last night and put in here this morning. It is evening time right now, by the way. The oldest seed, the ones that are ready to go in the trays, are down here in the bottom 2 buckets. So I'm gonna go ahead and separate these out. I'm gonna get to these bottom buckets and then we're gonna put them in the trays. All right, I don't know if you can see there, but we've got all these nice roots that have sprouted out of all these seeds. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the shelf and just kind of smooth everything out so that it'll grow nice and even, or as even as we can get it. Now I'm just going to stack everything back up and we're going to rinse water through it. I'll take an empty bucket here, a good clean empty bucket, and fill it about half full and run it through there. Let it drain. I'm going to take the catchment bucket down here and we're going to go ahead and dump it and clean it out. Now I go ahead and dump this twice a day. Your mileage may vary. I tend not to want to let it sit very long, and so I'm going to go ahead and give this a good spray here and get it put back in place. All right, now it's time to take a trusty pitcher here, fill it up, and we're gonna run it through there. Now I tend to put a little bit of water in each tray. The seeds that are in the bottom trays we just put in, they're all real loose. Too much water and they'll move around, they'll all shift down to the lower end. And so I tend not to put as much water in them, just let the water that's draining down and dripping enter those and get them good and wet. All right, now I'm going to take the 2 rinse buckets that we just emptied. As you can see, I got the holes in the bottom of it here. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good rinse, dump that back down the sink. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray it with the bleach solution and just set it over here to the side. And let that sit till morning. Now it's time, we're going to go ahead and put our seed in to soak overnight. Like I said, I'm putting about 18 ounces in each bucket, and that's giving me about 12 to 14 pounds total feed grown out after 8 days. I'm just using just a plain old cup here. It's a 12-ounce cup. And, I'm not measuring exactly. You know, that's, we're not baking, not a recipe. So you can see there we got the dry seed in here, and we're just going to go ahead and cover it with water. Just want to get enough of it that most of it sinks. You can see there we just probably got a couple inches of water in there, and that's really all you need. Well, you can see it in action. You know, it's draining from the top, coming down below from there, running all the way to here, and so forth, and then down into the catchment bucket below. One thing I wanted to mention here, make sure I didn't forget, was the fact that you know, the room in here is temperature controlled. It's in my garage. It doesn't have central heat and air or anything like that, but we are running it with this little heater. We got the heater usually set to about 69 degrees, and it keeps it, you know, right now it's about 20 degrees outside, give or take a little bit, and it's been struggling to keep up, but you know, we've seen the temperature in here be consistently around 66 or 67, and still getting the growth. And of course, we've got the humidifier there to be able to keep the humidity up, you know, with the dry cold air from the winter coming in, you know, whenever we open the doors and stuff. So here it is, morning time now, and I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 on the left here. That's the oldest and ready to be fed, and the rest of it, man, it's looking really, really good today. Anyway, so we're going to start here. I'm going to go ahead and dump this bucket. We'll do that off camera, and then what we'll do is we'll end up, this is where we soaked the seeds last night. We've got the other buckets over there that are the filtering buckets, and we're just going to stack them in here and run that water through. All right, now we got the seeds in here. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up about halfway and dump that through. So now it's time to get the seed out. I'm just gonna set a bucket down here and grab my tray. And as you can see, it just kind of lifts right out. Those extra seeds out for the chickens, at least as much as you can. Now we got both sets in there. We'll take the trays over to the sink. I'm going to rinse them out and spray them down with the bleach solution. All right, got the empty trays washed out. Just gonna give it a good spray down here with the bleach solution. And every so often, you may want to take a paper towel and run down through there. It's got, you know, it's got all these grooves and everything down the bottom of the tray. Sometimes you get a little bit of a mildew build up there. You may just want to go ahead and wipe it down with paper towels or something whenever you feel like it's necessary. Right now, they're pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave them as they are. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the newest ones and just move them up. You don't have to do this. Again, it's, you know, your mileage may vary. Make sure I get the holes on the right side. But one of the main reasons that I do this, go ahead and move them up, is because pouring water into the ones that are fresh and haven't grown and matted together yet tends to shift the seeds. It's a lot easier just to dump the water into the top where everything's growing and let it filter down and trickle down than it is to try to dump a whole bunch of water in at the top where the seeds and everything will be shifting and stuff. So I tend to like to go ahead and keep the growth up towards the top. So. And then I'm just going to put these back on the bottom. They'll stay empty till this afternoon, but they just kind of help the water get to where it's supposed to go. All right, now it's time to get our jacket on and head out to the animals and feed them what's in the bucket here. Miss Cookie, stay away from that door. As you can see, I'm just tearing off good sized chunks for these guys since there's 5 of them. And of course, they love it. They all came right over to it and are just chowing down. And you can see there, they've got food pellets in their bowl, but with the barley, they're really not eating that much pellets. So let's go out and take care of the other animals. Chunk for you too. The chicken's got a few other scraps and seeds and corn and stuff like that down there right now, but as the seeds and stuff fall down from the barley from up in the cages, they love to pick up what's left down there. So let's take care of the other side and then we'll throw some to the chickens. What's up, Miss Janice? You gotta let me open the cage. There you go. And it is awesome time. Awesome time for all the rabbits. What a healthy way for them to eat, rather than eating that store-bought pellets. All right, now let's get some for the chickens here. All right, ladies and gents, for you few gents, you guys ready? I'm just tearing it up into small chunks. Give them all a little more access to it. And normally we just do this out in the yard over there in front of their coop. But since we got all this snow and ice and everything on the ground, they're congregating under here anyways, with this being one of the few dry places that they can get where there's no snow. They can kind of scratch around here a little bit. So. All right, and the bucket goes here. All right, guys, and then that about wraps it up. You know, we're spending about 15 minutes here in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, and it's working really well for us. So I think if you can find a place where you can do this in your garage or a laundry room or shed or whatever you happen to have that you can do something like this, I think your animals will benefit from it. So anyways, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up on it. If you like what we're doing on our channel, please consider subscribing to us, and thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later.